United Women's podcast. I am your host tonight, Joe Kenja, and behind the scenes we have Lee Lawler, who is tapping around with the keys and making everything work nicely. So thank you, Lee. Keep up the hard work. You're down giving them support. And as you can probably see, I've got two very special guests with us tonight. To my left, I have got the one, the only, the magic man, Michael Causy. Michael Causy, how are you doing? I can't believe I just called you Michael. That felt weird. Yeah, mate.
I think that's the first time you've ever called me Michael, to be honest.
That felt weird. Sorry, full apologies.
No, I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Could have been better, but we'll get on to things that have got us in them sort of feelings as we go on the podcast. And to my right, we have the wonderful, the absolutely amazing former Lioness and part of one of the biggest podcasts out there alongside our own. Aran, how are you doing, my lovely?
Aye, what an intro. All good. Looking forward to the game at the weekend, seeing the lasses, and all good.
What have you been doing recently? Come on, break it down with your podcast. Let's get straight into that one.
All about the tune, obviously. Doing a lot of coaching, dropping sessions around the northeast, trying to inspire the kids, and trying to push women's football out still as much as obviously we possibly can. And we've still got a way to go, but we're getting there slowly but surely.
Well, doing a fantastic job of it from what I can see. It's great to start being able to hear you like week in, week out once again. A lot of we've missed you because you really grew into a really good position when you were doing the commentating for it. It's good to have you here week in, week out. Right, let's get into this one. Look, guys, it has been a mad couple of weeks for the lasses. We're going to start off with 2 weeks ago at Birmingham City. And what a fantastic performance that was for the lasses, wasn't it? Causy, you were down there, weren't you?
I was indeed, mate, yes. It was a brilliant day.
Describe the game to us. I wasn't there. I was one of those weak fans who stayed at home again. So come on, how was that being there?
You know what it is? It was a fantastic day. I think the turnout from the fans was absolutely incredible. I think we've said this many times before, going through tier 4, tier 3, and now in tier 2. But the support just keeps on growing. The demand just keeps on growing. And to see the number of fans we're taking to these away games, as well as the fans we're getting at home, is just absolutely incredible. And then you fast forward to on the pitch, and the lasses put in such a professional display against a really good team, a really strong Birmingham team, who are rightly at the top of the table this season. They've been in fantastic form. And I think we came away from that game thinking a point would have been good there. But when you walk away with all three, what more can you say? 3 points, clean sheet, professional performance. It was job done. Absolutely incredible day out.
It was one of those when I was sat watching at home. I was like, look, I'm ready for anything to happen this game. I don't care, win, lose, or draw, what goes on. And to see the way we played, it shocked me. And I don't mean any slight to our lasses. Look, every single one of them have been brilliant. The past couple of years have been phenomenal. I do not sell them short at all, but we really made a powerful display of ourselves that day. Now, speaking of making powerful displays, I have made a powerful display in starting this podcast and totally bypassing one of my notes right there, which was the fantastic game that we play of Who Am I? Now, Lee's going to be kicking off in the background there because he wanted me to do that straight away, and so did I. And now he's played that clip. But guess what? We're going to get straight into that one. Lee, would you bring the first clue for Who Am I up so Causy can win? It's always, everyone who's been watching this podcast will be used to generally clue one. Causy will be in the comments and he'll drop it. So, who am I? Clue one. I studied at Northumbria Uni. Now, this could be a player or staff member, past or present, with Newcastle United Women. Who am I? Clue number one. I studied at Northumbria Uni. Get your comments in. Let us know who you think. There will also be a poll running during this stream as well about the attendance this weekend and will we be able to beat the Sunderland record that is currently in place. I'm inclined to say we will, but we'll get onto that one soon. So, dialing it back to Birmingham. Aran, look, were you down at Birmingham?
No, I wasn't. I was like you, watching on telly. I know. I thought through the week on the podcast, I called a win, and I thought because the leading up weeks we'd been playing so strong, and I said it took a while to settle in as a team, and it was very up and down in the beginning of the season, and I felt we've found our feet, and I just thought, do you know what it is? It's clicked now. Like we know our game plan. The new players that have come in have started to gel now. They're starting to get to know each other, and it was yeah, it was all coming together. And I said, look, I wouldn't be surprised if we go down to Birmingham and turn them over, which is exactly what happened. And I just think we played to our strengths, and the midfield was really tight. The Hales up front was coming off for the ball, playing in midfield. The defence looked so compact. They were struggling. Birmingham were really struggling to break it down. And again, we started using, what we're doing last season, which was playing to our strengths, playing out of the wings and delivering the ball in the danger area. So overall performance, I was like, wow, I was calling top end and top four this season. And
Mhm.
I was like, I'm going to call top three now. I went after I'm seeing this display. So yeah, overall, absolutely outstanding, and I was over the moon. And I think it was starting to come together for me. I was like, here we go, bang, we've got it now.
Looking at you mentioned Hales there and the way she played in that game, and I keep going back to the finish on that goal. It was such a quick run, and you almost thought Beth Lumsden was going to get forced out of play when she
Mm.
was bringing that ball up, and she passes it over to Hales, and Hales' finish on that. Really quick thinking, isn't it, Aaron?
Yeah, it's first touch finish, and like with a calabash here, she was very strong. I wouldn't say she's massively quick, but she's quick enough. But she's got the
Yeah.
strength, and she's holding people off, doing a bit of what Harry Kane does, really clever at holding the ball up, playing the midfield and knocking it out wide, but then waiting for that ball coming back in. And again, she's always on the end. And you can go down to, Shearer over the years. Everyone, he's lucky. He's always on the end. If he's in the right place at the right time. No, he's not in the right place at the right time. As a striker, you're poaching goals, and you're predicting where the ball's going to go. So it's not luck, it's coordination. Know where it's going to be, where it's going to end up to finish it in the back of the net. So yeah, she's got that about her. And I mean, what, 6 goals so far? Top goal scorer in the league. Anything at her feet at the minute, it's in the back of the net. So
Yeah.
for me, leading into this game, I was kind of thinking, another couple of goals for her. But yeah.
It was unbelievable. And I want to switch the position straight there. And Causy, I'm bringing this to you. Obviously, father of a goalkeeper yourself. You're a football coach yourself as well. And I want to look at the job Claudia Moon played in that Birmingham game, because wow, she made some brilliant stops that game. Possibly our best game yet.
Without a doubt, Claudia is a top professional, a really high quality goalkeeper. And I think there's been a couple of goals that she's let in so far that have been a bit unfortunate. A couple of goals that she'll probably look back and think, I could have done a little bit better there. But on the whole, I started the season in black and white colours has been absolutely fantastic. And that Birmingham game was definitely our best performance so far. Um, I think Birmingham probably sensed that it was going to be one of those days for them, because they did have us under the cosh for long periods, especially in that second half, straight after half time. I mean, they hit the woodwork 3 times, but Claudia in between them sticks. She was going left, she was going right, she was tipping them over the bar, she was scrambling back to a line, and she was like a woman possessed. It was an absolutely fantastic performance from Claudia Moon. And that clean sheet, like I said before, you go away to the league leaders, title contenders this season, you get the 3 points, but above all, you get the clean sheet as well. So if you win 2-1, for example, it's still a fantastic result. But that confidence that it gives in the defence to take that clean sheet away from a team of Birmingham's quality, and Claudia played a big part in that.
She was huge. I was really. I mean, I've been impressed with her as the weeks go on. It just seems to keep building and building and building. But that Birmingham game, watching the highlights back every time I do, I'm obsessed by Hales' goal and I finish, and obsessed with the way Claudia Moon played. Pushing it forward as well now. I know a lot of people were focused on the fact that Isabel Sibley scores the second goal, as everyone always is. But Causy, Beth Lumsden, What a shot. What would we be talking about if that went in? The Maccomslayer's on one at the minute, isn't she?
Oh, she really is. And I'm not sure who it was, but I seen a comment through the week. I think it might have even been Statman Matt Walby, saying that it was reminiscent of Peter Beardsley back in the day. And it really was the way she was jinking left, jinking right, that little dink shot. Um, I think, can we just take a moment to applaud Beth's quality with both feet?
Hmm.
It's very rare in the game, and I'm not just saying the modern game, but in the game as a whole. You go back years, it's very rare you see someone who's got that ability and that quality with both right and left foot, but it doesn't seem to phase her. You know, if she goes to a corner, she'll whip one in right foot, she'll whip one in left foot, in swinging, out swinging.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was absolutely outstanding. You know, she got the assist for the first goal, brilliant run down the left in the pullback. She really had a full back. She had a number all game. And then that breakaway in the second half, and like I said, a bit of a reminiscent of Peter Beardsley jink. And you'd have been talking goal of the season contender if that goes in. It doesn't, but Sibley's there to make sure it does. But take nothing away from Beth Lumsden. Absolutely phenomenal performance.
The way you've just described Beth Lumsden there, it makes us want to pose another question to Aaron. Aaron, do you think you'd get in ahead of Beth Lumsden?
Oh, funnily enough, right? And Sue Cummins, the director, came and sat with us well, end of last season, and she said, "But what do you think of Beth?" And I said, "I really like Beth." I said she's so skillful, blah blah blah. And she said straight away, "She reminds us of you." I said, like, I'm drawn to people that's got this individual brilliance, the likes of Beardsley, the likes of Janola Had, Lumsden. You can pick them out, Lauren James. I'm
Yeah.
drawn to them because I was a bit of a dribbler myself. Like, I like to pick up the ball and run with it. I was a very direct player. Like to go past people and get a shot in. And when she picked that ball up, she turned her inside out twice. And then she just let one absolutely rip. And I just seen the flight of the ball when it just colossal off the crossbar and come out. But yeah, like, it's been game after game with her, where she's finding the space. She's always straight away. She's on the byline straight away. Positional play. She's very good on attack, giving herself plenty of space. If you let her turn with the ball for 1 minute, she's past you. And defenders, are struggling with that, to stay tight with her because she's already got the ball, she's turned, and when she's facing you, she's gone. So, no, absolutely outstanding.
She's fantastic. She's fantastic. Brilliant way to dodge the question as well, right? So
That's it. That was the truth, though. That was the truth.
No, great. Honestly, Aaron, it is. She's fantastic. I had to ask that one straight away with you being such an expert in that position as well. Some great words from Sue Cummins. I do have a reaction from Lee before I go into that. I'm just going to dive into the comments. John Matthew Anderson, evening. How's it going, my man? Matt Lewis, evening, everyone. Birmingham game was quality, professional job. Had to dig in at the start of the second half because they were pushing, but once we got the second, managed the game really well. Damn straight. Matt, do you put a lot of that down to Claudia Moan in the defence? Like, let one know. Connor J. Lawler, Connor, my man, that is the brother of Lee Lawler, as I believe he does go on to say. We also have Angela in the chat. Angela, what's happening? Part of Causy Travels, I believe now. Wait, that way, not that way. She's in. Let's hope she's going to do plenty of that on Sunday. Oh, yes, please, at St. James's Park. I would love that. I would love that. So moving on, we've got Lee's reaction down at Birmingham. Lee, roll the clip.
A 2-0 win against the league leaders. There's only 2 points separate the top 5 in this division. It is incredibly tight, but what a performance. The team photo has just been taken behind me, the other end with the away fans. What a performance. Newcastle went 1-0 up thanks to Beth Lumsden pulling the ball back to Shania Hales, her 6th of the season. 50-50, I'd probably say, in the first half after that goal, but second half, Birmingham hit the woodwork 3 times. Realistically, from their side of view, they should have scored at least 1 or 2 to get back into the game, but somehow they didn't, and Claudia was forced into a couple of saves, but Newcastle went down the other end against one of play, would say, and Beth Lumsden had a shot that was saved, and it hit the bar, I think, and it came back to Sibley, the substitute, and she pounces and scores. It was blocked, but it just trickled over the line. But Newcastle have obviously came away, as I say, with 3 massive points. What a performance here down at St Andrews and Birmingham. Brilliant.
So Lee's saying that massive 3 points. Aaron, you said before about how you went from during the Birmingham game, you went from saying that we're going to finish 4th, 5th to now top 3. What was it about that 3 points that makes you think that now? Was it the stature of Birmingham? Was it our performance? Was it a culmination of both?
It was a combination of both, and the reason I say that is obviously Birmingham being top of the league and played in the WSL for many years. Back when I played, they were in, and then they were relegated, and they've sat in the Championship for a while and gone up and down. They've got the quality of players, and it shows. And for us to go there, it was a test. For me, I was waiting for what to play the top teams, and I want to say you've got to put yourself out to play the best to know if you're up there and what level you're at in this league. And it was always going to be very close. And the score lines each week are going to be very close. There's going to be 1 or 2 goals in it. It's not going to be like last season. So purely down to that, and I just felt when I watched the game, I seen how we've been playing the build up to that game, and then we went in. We kept the possession because we're losing a lot of possession at times where we're giving the ball like silly, and I just felt Becky in the background must have been doing some work, whether that's obviously keeping possession or play and phases of play with the back line and the midfield, and I thought we'd close that gaps where I've seen balls played through and sliced to a defence and players running in behind her. Again, I felt that had closed up, so there's been a lot of work done in training around that. And it kind of finished it off for us. So after that game, I was just like, we're there. It shows the level we are at. We're not middle, we're top, which then straight away I changed my mind on the whole. I said at the start of the season, I said mid-table for us would be brilliant for the first season coming into this league. But then I changed after that game. I was like, wow, like that was a very good performance. I've seen a lot of positives coming out of that. It's going at the top for me. So yeah, that's kind of where it's at for us, really.
Yeah, I like that. There's obviously a lot of things. I'm jotting down a fair few things that you are saying because we all know there's a big contrast coming. We all know that there's a big elephant in the room that we're going to talk about soon enough. That said, let's hear what Becky had to say after the Birmingham display. Oh, Lee.
The character the girls have shown across that 90 minutes is just absolutely unbelievable. I could not be prouder. That second half, the start of it was tough. We've had to really grind that out because, Birmingham had some really good chances and a real spell of pressure. But the commitment from the players, to stop the cross coming into the box. If it came into the box, the determination to win first contacts and then second contacts was unbelievable. So, yeah, I just couldn't be prouder.
You look at the league table, currently at the minute, it's 2 points separate the top 5. This league is anyone's?
Yeah, it's open, isn't it? I think it's that one you just got to concentrate on a game at a time because, we were so disappointed last week, to have dropped 2 points to Charlton with 4 minutes to go. So we wanted to use that as fuel to put that right, and it felt like a loss. But, we've got to actually think about, where we're at, our context, and the context is that we've just come into the Championship. It's all new. There's really experienced teams in this league, and we've just had to adapt really quickly, and that's what we've done.
Shania obviously grabbing that 6th of the season. Great play by Beth to pull it back and 1-0 up. In that second half, though, Birmingham were peppering with goal. It lived like a charm, didn't it? The goal hit the woodwork 3 times. I think Claudia had to force 1 or 2 saves. At that stage, what were you thinking? Is just hang on, girls, hang on.
Yeah, my heart was skipping a beat a few times after saying but at the same time, it's like we knew we'd have to ride their pressure. They were going to come out strong in the second half and push for that first goal, but we really didn't want to drop back. We wanted to keep stepping on, and we did well to kind of push and ensure that we were minimising their chances. But as you say, they're strong players, they're experienced players at Birmingham, and we rode our luck a little bit, but at the same time, we didn't get that luck against Charlton, we possibly didn't get that luck against Durham. So today it's ours, and I'm buzzing.
From Becky there. Now, before we move on to clue 2, I want to ask you, Causy, one thing about what Becky said there about this league being open. And what I'm going to ask is, could we still become champions?
Yes, we really can.
Yeah, and how strongly could we do that? Are we going to dominate and do it, or is it going to be close?
No, I think it's going to be close. Now, I know Aaron was saying that at the start of the season, she had us kind of in that mid-table. Now she thinks we're going to be further up near the top after that Birmingham game. Probably a bit tongue-in-cheek at the start of the season when I said it, but actually I still stand by it that we can win this league. And I know it'll be incredible to go back to back to back, but the last 2 seasons, this league has been won by a point. And if you look how close the league is this season, the 6 points separates 8 teams from top down to Sunderland. Like this weekend, and I know we'll get into it a little bit later on, but if results go our way and we win this weekend by a big enough margin, we can go second. That's a massive climb to go from 7th to 2nd. This league is so tight. And in Tier 3 and Tier 4, we talked about goal difference being so key. We all remember that game down at Barnsley at the end of the Tier 4 campaign where Durham, Sestria were putting goals in left, right and centre. We were all sat in the stands thinking, oh my God, this is actually going to happen. We're going to blow it on goal difference. But we didn't, and we got over the line. And I think it can be the same again in this league. And I think you could be looking at the end of the season, goal difference or literally a point or two in this league. So why not? We've gone to Birmingham, we've beat them, we've beat Sunderland this season. We went down to London City and we held our own against them. Like, I think most teams, bar the bottom 3, you see Sheffield United, Blackburn and Pompey, they're really, really struggling. Anyone else can beat anybody else in this league. So why not? Why can't we do it?
Yeah, I like that confidence. I like that confidence. The only reason I don't want me to do it is because I've got to do 5 laps of Kingston Park when I'm in my Oscar outfit. But anyways, moving on from that one, we'll jump back into Who Am I? The great little quiz game that Lee Lawler thought up for everyone to get involved in. So clue number one, who am I? I studied at Northumbria University. This could be a player, could be a staff member, current or ex. Who am I? Clue number 2. Some would say I play a supported role. Again, player or staff, ex, current. I've got. We're not going to shout out our guesses straight away, by the way, but I have got 3 little guesses down already because I'm playing along. I don't know the answer. Lee is behind the cameras. Together. Whoa, Causy has taken over the whole of the stream there. Well, that was amazing. So yes, clue number 1, I studied at Northumbria University. And clue number 2, some would say I play a supported role. Who is it? Get your guesses in the comments. Let us know who you are thinking that is. Now, just jumping into the comments again, Matt Lewis being very vocal tonight. John Anderson, we rode our luck a bit, mind. I'm not so certain on that in the Birmingham City game. Maybe in other cases, maybe. Definitely Claudio with some quality saves, but also the defensive shape was spot on too, and felt like we learned from the late goals against Charlton shape-wise when we were under the cosh. That is certainly going to come back to bite you, Matt, I agree, but yeah. And then again, yes, we can become champions. March is the big month, I reckon. Birmingham, Bristol City, Durham, Sunderland, London City Lionesses, and 3 are at home. That is going to be a very, very interesting one. Now, 95% of the votes believe Newcastle United will break the championship record. Keep your votes coming. Drop us a like. I think it is. Causy, what's your predicted attendance for Sunday?
It pains us to say it, but I think this might be the first time we play at St James where we don't go over the 20,000 mark.
I felt that.
I think we will break the record. I think we will beat what the Magnums had last month when they played us. But I don't quite think we're going to go over that 20,000 mark. Sorry. You can kind of look at the block by block what's being released. Unless there's a late surge or some on the day sales, I think we might be looking around about 18,000.
18. I've got 19,000 written down. Aaron, what about you? Do you reckon we're going to break just Sunderland's, or we're going to break our own?
No, I think I'm a Causy on this one. Like, I think we'll break Sunderland's, but I think if it had been against Sunderland, if I'd been playing the Magnums, I think we would have broke it. But yeah. I genuinely don't think it'll be the game for that yet. I think there'll be loads there. I think you're talking between 18 and 20,000. I think you're both bang on. It's going to be around about there, but it's just not going to be as high as what the record is for there,
Still, we're moving in the right direction. So we have just been talking about flying high at Birmingham. absolutely dominating. What an amazing performance. The team's coming together. Professional display. Even a point would have been good. So then we walk into Bristol City and we think, oh, we've got this. We're confident. We can absolutely destroy this. There's the wonderful Dave Rutherford who organised last minute. Great little fans down. Fantastic it was. Very long and hurt and drive. But it was I can't even say it was worth it. Look, we end up going down there and we end up losing 2-0. Let's have a little look at the starting lineup before I get into your opinions about it, Aaron and Causy. I'm going to have to let this clip finish, aren't I, for Lee? Lee will let this clip finish, and then we'll get the starting lineup for Bristol. Causy, you weren't there, were you?
No, I watched this one at home, unfortunately.
Yep, and Aaron, you were the same, weren't you? Home watcher.
Yeah, home watcher.
Yeah, it's fine. It happens. I was only last minute going down. Like I say, it was a great little turnout as well, though. One thing that I've definitely noticed, I think a lot of us thought that the away support was going to be a little bit less this season, but it hasn't really fell off. And I'm going to get into that with you, Causy, later. Actually, I do want to ask about that. So now I will be able to bring the starting 11 up for Bristol. Lee, roll that clip forward, please. Line up. Let's just stop right here and get this line up. Right there next to her. Alysia Boddy, Olivia Watt on the start. I'm loving seeing Olivia Watt on the start of this one. Stubbsy is not starting, however. She is back, she is on the bench. Very good. She is on the bench, which is great. I'm happy with that. But I would have liked... I will like to see her coming into the second half. Look, it's not going to be an easy game against Bristol. They've just come down from the Super League. They are an experienced team with some great stars on their team. It won't be easy for the lasses. They've got to go out there and put the all in, keep their heads in the game, keep that high press that they've been showing for the last few games. The performance against Birmingham. If we can repeat that, we're laughing. Aaron, you're sitting there. You've just come off a 2-0 dominant victory against Bristol City. You're looking at that lineup. What's your thoughts going into the game? You think it's another strong performance?
I'm thinking that we'll steamroller them. I'm thinking from how I played the week before to the team rolling out, not no bother at all. I thought we were going to walk out there and win. I honestly did.
It was. I think you're in the same mind as everyone else there on that one. It was hard. Causy, that first half. I mean, it wasn't a bad display, was it?
It wasn't a horrendous display. I think it was fairly even first half. I think Bristol did have the better of the play and the better chances, but I think we just about held our own in that game. There was a lot of sloppy play, a lot of misplaced passes. We didn't seem to have that same intensity and that same desire as what we've had in more recent games. But I think the sucker punch is having that goal right on the stroke of half time. I think if you get into half time at 0-0, you come out second half and it's a different game. But I think that goal just it obviously changed Becky's half time talk. And it was a real sucker punch for us on the stroke of half time.
Yeah, I would. You've nailed that first half perfectly. There's one thing that I'm going to pull at you, Aaron, because just before we started the stream, Aaron had a very, very good few words about the match, and there's one person I want to pull out that you talk about that I think many of we felt got almost a bit of a disservice coming off for the second half. But Olivia Watt in that first half, wow, she had a lot to contend with, didn't she, Aaron?
She did. I mean, Olivia Watt has played last season and the game she's played this season. She's been outstanding, and I felt she was completely exposed down that left-hand side. I think it was Napier literally destroyed our left-hand side, and we're playing too high up the pitch. We're meant to be playing with a 3-4-1-2 as such, or 4-5-1, sorry. And Hales was meant to be on our own. Obviously, I get Lumsden and Andrews are pushing up, and obviously they're the support, get that. And but they weren't coming back. Yes. So Andrews kind of left Olivia Watt absolutely exposed, and they've seen it. They've seen the weakness very early on in the first half. And if you noticed, what they were doing is they were switching play a lot of the time, and the ball was going out the left-hand side. Again, Andrews was miles behind, tracking back, and was never going to catch her. And then Alysia Watt was just isolated, which was allowing them to cut in and deliver the ball in. One of them creating the goal, and that was a majority of the play in their attacking in the attacking sense for them was coming down that left hand side. So yeah, I was really, really disappointed, and yeah, I was hoping come the second half they would tighten the midfield up. They would start to drop in. Positional play of the midfield. You should know, obviously, the player next to you just to tuck in. But unfortunately, I don't know where Andrews was going, but she was still playing like she was playing left up front, and you cannot do that. It was costing her. It cost her badly. Cost her the game, really.
There was a lot of factors that I think go into it. I know a lot of people were sort of me myself on the day. I was like, has game management been the issue here? The same as sort of the Charlton game, the Durham game, losing it in the last minutes. But it wasn't even a matter of losing it in the last minutes. It just seemed like, for probably the first time ever that I'm going to say this, and everyone knows the support I've got for this team, but we just didn't seem to show up on the day. And obviously we spoke about before, and you mentioned about the way the team starting to gel together. It seemed like it was all coming together. We had this chemistry that was everyone was fitting in, everyone knew the positions, and then it just fell apart in Bristol, didn't it? It just seemed like we were back to the start of the season again.
Again, the defence, like I say, I'm focusing on Andrews there, but it wasn't just Andrews, like Cooper at the back was out of position. There was a delivery came into the box. She was nudged off the ball, and as a centre half, Potts and Cooper, you know yourselves, they'll knock anybody out the way. They're hard as nails to get to that ball, and it was a cheap thing to give away, really, to be knocked off the ball mid-air. Then by the time it went over the top, a flick on happened, it was in the back of the net. It was mistakes like that she should have judged the flight of the ball a lot better, and she's got that experience, and she is a very good player.
Yeah.
We're all saying that, but it just wasn't to be on the day. And I think it as a whole collective team, they were all out of position in one way or another, and it was catching work. And I don't know what it was, what happened. Was it on the back of such a big win, give them a lot of confidence? Did they go in with all this complacency? Maybe, I don't know. But that's what it seemed like it did. It was kind of turning out whether I thought they were going to roll out and win, and that's not the case. And none of the teams in this league you can do that with. It's so close, like Causy's saying, like there's nothing in it.
Yeah.
And I think that could have been a main factor in it,
Causy, we come out in the second half. We see Amber Stubbs is coming on. We see Alysia Watt's going off. We've already discussed that with Aaron there. The one I want to discuss with you and see what your opinion was from sitting at home, but Isabel Sibley comes on for Alysia Watt, and she drops into the right back position. What was the thinking in that? What's your take on it?
It's not the first time we've seen Izzy play there, and I don't think she was necessarily in an out right back. I think the idea was to try and go that three at the back and have her in more of a wing back role.
Yeah.
I've seen her there a couple of times, but I don't think that's her strongest position. I think from what I've seen of Izzy Sibley, she's best when she's further forward on that wing. Like we saw her break in numerous times second half against Birmingham. She was there in the box to pop home the rebound from Lumsden's shot. I remember when she made a full debut at home Everton in the Cup, I thought she was absolutely fantastic then as well. But I just don't think you get the best out of Izzy when she's playing in that wing back position. If I can bring it back on the Liv for a moment, and I want to get your guys' take on this as well, I believe that Alysia Watt is the best natural defender we have at this club. And I know we've got some good talent in the back line there. We've got Potsy, we've got Cooper, we've got Demi Stokes. Potsy in the past has played our trade as a midfielder as well as a defender. Deanna Cooper, not taking anything away from her. Stokes likes to get forward. Cataldo, Ball, when they're fit, they like to get forward. Alysia Watt's game is to defend.
Yeah.
She'll get forward, she has to, but Alysia Watt plays to defend. And I think, as Aaron said, she was very exposed in that game against Bristol. If anything, I think Amber Jazz was the right sub, definitely.
Yep.
Jazz was struggling to get in the game. I think sometimes when it's a physical battle in midfield, Jazz does struggle.
Yeah.
But I think bringing Liv off at half time was, to me, didn't make sense. If anything, I thought they might have slotted Lewis back into right back and played with 5 at the back. That's what I thought they might do, but yeah, I thought it was harsh on Olivia to be brought off at half time.
There was a lot of weight, and obviously none of our other manager were all. This is not one of those moments where we're all right, Becky out, like we're done. See you later. Let's get Serena Wiegman in because that's doable. No, we love Becky to bits. We love the team to bits. You're going to have bad days at the office, and this happened. It was the Olivia Watt decision that I think really struck a lot of people's chords, because when you ask that there, and when you said it at first, I made a bit of a face there, Causy, about Olivia Watt, but when you explained it, at first I was thinking, I was agreeing with what Angela's just said in the comments there, Watt and Potsy for me. But even then, when you explained that and broke it down, Potsy likes a run up, and it's very rare you actually see Olivia make them runs up. She's always the defender, defending the back line. And I think the only other player who we have had who matched that bill was Naomi Bedot. I remember when Naomi would play on one side and Watt would play on the other. It was incredible to see. I do agree with that one though about Olivia Watt. It was a hard one. The second goal going in, I think we're kind of knew when the second goal goes in, the game's done. We're not coming back from this one. Yes, they take a red card, but even when the red card, Aaron, when the red card went on against Bristol, you still didn't really have hope that we were going to win it, did you? I mean, we only had about 6 minutes left of the game.
Yeah, nah, it was late on in the game by then. It was tied up, we're 2-0 down, and I could see the heads have gone down, and Stokesy was trying to push them the best she can, but at that point the game was slipping away massively. I think it was a little bit unfair, the yellow card, but hey ho, which turned into a red, the 2 yellows. But overall, it wasn't coming back at that point. Nah.
It was devastating. Look, we've got my reaction outside the ground, which is also paid alongside David Webster's reaction, which was I've got lots of that edited out, but honestly, it was a very, very, very big display of passion. Lee, if you can roll that clip forward, please. At the end, I think a lot of people would agree it came down to the game management again, didn't it?
It did. I mean, even they had 10 men and we still couldn't.
It wasn't just game management. It was a lot of things. There was no hunger in the girls at all. There was no desire, no want. Just, like I've said to a few people, I've watched these now for 5 years and that's the worst game I've seen us play. Normally we can walk away from a game when we're beaten and we can say we put heart in that. No, we gave everything we had. There was still at least 20-30% that was left on that pitch today. Easy. And it wasn't just game management, it was all over the place. But what's game management if you've only got 2 shots on goal? Liv Watt, absolutely fantastic first half. Amy's not helping Liv out, but then Liv gets substitute. Because Liv time after time in the first half gets left 2-on-1. Amy's not coming back to cover her, but then it's Liv Watt that gets subbed. And then they bring Sibley on. No disregard to Sibley, because I do like her.
Shouldn't be playing right back.
Why are you playing on for right back? And then she gone back to a back 3. But she wasn't, she's played a back 4. It's just...
We're seeing as the game went later on, we started pushing up a little bit more, but it just wasn't coming to fruition. Later on in the second half, we were pushing, we were trying to get through, but it just wasn't working.
There was nothing from them. Midfield was missing in the first half. Yes, you could blame a part of Becky because the subs that she made were a bit questionable, but we still didn't have enough. We still didn't do enough. We had one shot on target first half, 1 shot on target the second half. This team are a good team. I'm not saying Bristol aren't. But they...
You've been in positions before where you've probably walked away from a game with quite a low head. How do you pick yourself back up from that? How do you go into the next game and go, right, forget about it, let's move forward? What's the mindset do you think they've got to have now?
They've just got to push it to one side. I mean, you can come off the back of what you're saying when you've had a hard defeat to take, especially when you were turning out, expecting to come away with the 3 points. Like, you've literally just got to wipe a clean slate and forget about it. You cannot let it linger on and start dissecting it too much, because you'll have done that majority of the week in training. You'll have done that. You'll look at phase of plays, what you've done to try and close the gap in the areas to improve. You've got to let it go and think, you know what it is, right? The next game, we've got this. pull together as a team, be positive, and yeah, you've got to put it to one side, Joe. That's all you can do, and move forward and forget about it. It's done. What's done's done. Learn from it. See what your mistakes are. Learn from it and move on.
Agreed. Where my camera has just there we go. I'm back. I'm using my second backup camera. Happy days. It's become a bit of a thing of me and Aaron. Something always goes wrong for when we do things together. So it's look, it's going to be hard for them, but it's something that I think majority of fans, and Causy, you will back this up 100%. We're all still behind them, aren't they? Like we haven't lost faith. We haven't lost belief. We still believe in these lads, don't we?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we know how far this team has come. Like from the days of the TF4 playing away to your Nortons and Stocktons and your York Cities. No disrespect to those teams, but we've come so far in such a short space of time. And I know I said earlier that I believe that we can still go up this season, and I do genuinely believe we can go up. But I don't think it's a disaster if we don't. If anything, if we do stay in the Championship this season, it gives us just another season to rebuild, and it's a learning curve that, okay, now we know what this league is about and what it's going to take to get over the line. You know, the game management in situations such as the game against Durham, the game against Charlton, what it's like to go away to a team like Bristol and not take them for granted because you know that they're a good team who's been in the WSL. I don't think anyone in that fan base for 1 second is questioning Becky. I mean, we've lost 2 games this season. Okay, fine, we've lost 2 games. One of them we didn't deserve to lose against Durham. This one we did. And I think that's the only game this season you can say we didn't deserve anything out of. I mean, even the game against Durham, we deserved all 3 points, if not the point that we lost at the end. Charlton, we were the better team for 85 minutes. And again, 2 sucker punches. Bristol, from start to finish, though, we didn't deserve anything out of it. But I don't think anybody in that fan base has questioned Becky as a result. You know, football's a beautiful game. We all have opinions. We all think this player should start or that player should come off the bench. But Becky ultimately is paid to make the choices she makes. And yeah, bad day at the office, you put it behind her, and we'll all be fully behind Becky and all the girls this Sunday at St James Park.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone get there. Everyone just make loads of noise, support the life out of them. And to jump into the comments a second, Angela, I fully agree. I've been saying it for ages now that is kind of what I want. I want to stay around in this league for a little bit longer and learn and grow, pull some different names into the team, you know, have some people possibly leave. And not saying I want anyone to leave, but that is kind of the process. I want to grow in this league. You've also got Matt Lewis there again saying was a surprising performance, especially after Birmingham. I do wonder if we were looking past Bristol City with the match at St James's Park this weekend. We have bounced back from the setbacks, just need the consistency. I don't think that's something for me personally that we're doing is looking past Bristol City because, like Aaron said and Causy said, they're a former Super League team. You don't look past an opponent like that. You look at them with all guns blazing and you're trying to do your best with it. It's a difficult one. We do have some words from Alysia Boddy as well from after the Bristol match. If Lee could roll that clip forward. Play in the right position.
She wasn't. No, she wasn't herself. She's normally all over the place, but she wasn't. She just was not herself at all.
It's a hard one. We don't take the 3 points. Lee's had a better day down at Nottingham Forest. The leaves the league table still quite close standing. There's we're sitting 7th. You want breaking it down for us before Lorraine. There's not many points at all being met between where it is still a very tight league. It's certainly not the season over, is it?
It's not. Bring on Southampton.
Exactly, which usually be in.
If we pull out a performance next week and we beat Southampton, all this will be forgotten about.
I agree.
This is a big, massive points for Bristol City, I think. Sorry, love. This is a big, massive points for Bristol City. This and well done to it.
Yeah.
But if we turn over Southampton with a proper display that we can make of, this will be forgotten about.
I agree.
Just the moment, everything's just raw and nasty and.
Once he's been fed, he'll be fine.
You'll be happy then. Me as well. That said, you guys are staying around here for a little bit longer, aren't you?
We are travelling home tomorrow.
And then you are away for a couple of games, aren't you?
We are.
Tunisia?
It is.
Lovely for them.
We'll just land in Tunisia, and then maybe an hour or so later the game will start. But we'll try and watch it.
Every time I watch them clips, honestly, I'm thinking about releasing. I'll talk to David and try and release his full rant because it's scathing. He did go back afterwards and say he thought he was a little bit harsh, but it's a brilliant rant. It's honestly, it's so worthy. And I was meant to say words about Alysia Boddy because also Alysia Boddy won a very nice award for the most promising young player. Honestly, I think personally that it's one when everyone's seen her contract signed and seen the ability that she does. I mean, last season she was a stalwart. Yes, she's had a couple of off games this season. It's perfectly fine. She's growing. She's young. Aaron, looking at the player Alysia Boddy, what heights do you see her reaching?
Oh, I'm a massive supporter of Alysia. She's got the talent, she's got the awareness, she can ping balls out left, right. Positional play generally, she's bang on. She obviously gets into forward positions to get herself in with a chance of getting some shots away. We've seen some cracking goals from her. Like all round and defending, like there's not a lot. I would be nitpicking if I was saying things she needs to work on. Like she's an excellent all round player at a very young age, and I can see her progressing with Newcastle, going through the WSL, and honestly, like that girl is going to be playing for England at some point.
Yeah.
100%, she's going to be a lioness.
Agreed. Fully agreed. I've said it about Alysia for a while. Causy, I'm not going to ask you to answer a question. I'm going to ask you to sing a question. What's your opinion of Alysia Boddy, mate? Go on.
Oh, baby, do you know what she's worth? Alysia Boddy is the best on earth. And Dr. Geordie, she's just what we need. She's gonna take us to the Super League.
Yes, come on.
Love
I
it. Absolutely love it.
love that chant. I absolutely love that chant. We definitely need
Can I
to
just
next.
add though? I know you said you don't want us to answer the question,
Oh,
but
here we go.
that award that she won last night, you know, if you look at some of the players that have won that previously, Lewis Miley, Elliot Anderson, I believe, won it as well. Sean Longstaff, like there's some big name players in that list of previous winners, and I think it's fantastic for not just for Newcastle United Women, but for women's football that Alysia Boddy won that award last night, and I think it's thoroughly deserved.
Yeah, you bang on, right? It's huge. And I personally, when you made that list of names, I think there's only one of them who could possibly climb to bigger heights than Alysia Boddy, and I think that's Lewis Miley. I think them two are destined for massive futures where they're going to become household names. And yeah, I can't wait to see them climb and become so fantastic, and especially in black and white stripes. John says there, she is fantastic, but in my opinion, she should be playing higher up the pitch. No, I think that's something that a lot of will want, isn't it, Causey? A lot of fans have been mentioning we would like to see her play a bit higher up again.
So I've got probably a controversial one on this. I know
Yeah.
Dave was saying that she's in the wrong position. I know a lot of fans have been saying she's in the wrong position, needs to be further up. I think it's all about who's around her in that midfield.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she came in last season. Okay, I think was she 18 or 19 when she signed last season? I think she's only still 20 now. She plays in that, not necessarily a defensive midfield, but she plays in that quarterback role. She dictates play. You know, she covers the defense. She spreads balls right, left, up the pitch. Like I don't think I see her as a number 10 or further up the pitch. I do see her as a number 6, but I think it's about who's around her in that midfield. I like Lois Joel. I think she's a good player. I'd rather see Amber in there. I understand Becky's thinking of keep a winning team from the Birmingham game, but I think if you've got Amber and Jazz, or any combination of Amber, Jazz, and Emma Kelly playing in front of Alysia Boddy plays a better game. So no, personally, I don't want to see Alysia Boddy further up. I want to see Amber further up alongside Jazz and Emma.
I suppose it matches to a lot of what I suppose we're kind of contradicting ourselves here. A lot of the ones who want Alysia higher up, but that's what we were asking for last season was Amber. I know I want Amber higher up the pitch, and we're getting it. And when Amber's running up that pitch, I personally think Amber's been our player of the season so far. Yeah,
she's been a woman possessed this season up that pitch, and she drives her forward. And I think you get the best out of her in that 8 or 10 role rather than as a holding midfielder or even playing anywhere across that back four. So I think you keep Alysia holding where she is, but you get the Ambers, the Jazzers, the Emma Kellys in front of her, and then Alysia can dictate the play like she's been doing for the last year.
I've been noticing Aaron all the way through you speaking has just been nodding, agreeing. Are you in full agreement with Causy?
Yeah, literally full agreement. Alysia is a fantastic holding midfield player, and it does matter who's around her. And Amber is a little magician at times, and she's the one that slices the defence open with the ball she plays through. And it just allows Alysia to just sit there, and she'll pivot, playing the ball back and then playing it out wide and going back home again. But yeah, 100%. I think the players that we have that play alongside Alysia are more forward players. And playing to Alicia's strength as a holding midfielder, it would be a disaster. I get why she can finish. We've seen some goals, and if you put her on the edge of the box, she's got a canny strike on her. But ultimately, her strength is to play as a holding midfielder. So I think it would be. I don't think we'd be playing our strengths by putting her higher up.
Yeah. Now that said, talking about strengths, talking about weaknesses, we do have the league table. Lee, if you could pop the league table up for us there, mate. You're looking at that league table right now, and taking away the loss that we've just, even counting the loss against Bristol City and the loss against Durham, Aaron, we're all still in a very, very strong position when you look at the very close gaps in the table, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. There's only a couple of points in it to get up there, and it is that close, a couple of the top ones losing or drawing, and we have a few wins off the belt. It bumps her right back up there, and I could be eating my words because, like Causy's saying, he still thinks that we're there to win it, and I hope we are. Like, I would love nothing more to see us get promoted. But yeah, I think that 100% top three, and I think it's going to come down to the odd. It's going to come down with the points being so close at the end of the season. It really is. But yeah.
Birmingham City as well. Birmingham City have got a weekend off this weekend. Causy, do you think that is something where we need to go out there and win this weekend, and we need to take 3 points so we can take advantage of Birmingham and get a closer gap with the league leaders?
Yeah, I don't think I'd go as far as saying it's a must win, but it's a should win. I think any game we play at home this season, you want to be looking at picking up 3 points regardless of who the opposition is. And then going away from home, I think, your Portsmouths who we beat, your Sheffield Uniteds, they're the teams that you'd think, yeah, we'll pick 3 points away from home. But anyone else, if you can come away from home with a point, it's probably a good result. So I think this weekend against Southampton, because we're at home, we're at St James Park, the lasses have never lost there, touch wood. You've got to go in there thinking we're going to get 3 points. And I think, we've only got 2 more league games and then we've got the winter break. Okay, we've got 2 league games, we've got 2 cup games, actually 3 cup games because the FA Cup draw still needs to be made. But if you look at our next 5 league games, which takes us into February, Southampton, Blackburn, Sheffield United, Portsmouth, and Southampton again. Like that's a nice run of fixtures, you'd have to say. And as I said earlier, if results go our way, Durham's got London City this weekend. If them two can play out a boring 0-0 draw, happy days. We win by a few goals against Southampton, we could be sitting second at the end of the weekend. So I think every game, and I know Becky will be putting this mentality into the lasses, and they want to win every game. They're realistic that they aren't. We didn't win every game in Tier 4. We didn't win every game in Tier 3. We're not going to win every game in Tier 2. But if you look at that league table, every team has lost at least 2 games already this season. That is how tight this league is. No one's unbeaten. Okay, no one's only lost 1. They've all lost at least 2. So yeah, I think you go in 3 points this season. It's only 3 points this Sunday, and I think it puts us into a really strong position going into that Blackburn game just before Christmas.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting one, the Blackburn one, because they are a strong team. Local artist Leanie Patterson knows a lot about Blackburn, as they are one of the clubs she is quite close to, and that's going to be an interesting one. Look, great analysis. The table's looking healthy. We're not too beat up about Bristol City. I think it's a good time to get clue 3 on the go. Before we get into clue 3 for Who Am I, let's have a little recap of clue 1 and 2. Clue 1, Who am I? I studied at Northumbria Uni. Clue number 2, some would say I play a supported role. And clue number 3, I have been with the club since December 2017. That has threw me off, hence the thing in my voice. Or has it? No, I think it. No, that might not have actually thrown me off. No, I might have a good guess there. So yes, clue number 1, I studied at Northumbria Uni. Clue number 2, some would say I play a supported role. And clue number 3, I have been with the club since December 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, get your guesses into those comments for us. Me, Causy, and Aaron all have our guesses, and we will be revealing them at the end before we reveal the actual answer. Look, hi, hello. Now we are going to St. James's Park once again. Competitive play against Southampton. Aaron, are you worried? Are you nervous? What's this game meaning to you right now?
So, yeah, I'm nervous. That's only on the back of because of last week. But I think the lasses. I know we were speaking about this earlier, Joe, and it's quite right. Every time we seem to have a defeat that is a bit out the blue for us when we're on a bit of a roll, we seem to come out the blocks, especially at St James's Park, and score like 3, 4, 5. Do you know what I mean? I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's going to be that, but I do feel that it's going to be a dominant display. I feel the backing of the supporters, the Toon Army right behind the lasses, the occasion, and I think they'll have a bit fire in their bellies when you get beat. And again, it's hard to take when it's against where you expect it to come out and win, and we were expected to take the 3 points from that game. Like, you come out with it, you've got that fire going in your belly, and you've got a point to prove. And I think they're going to go out there and they're going to absolutely smash it. I would just love to see a bit more consistency rather than the up and down where you're thinking, they should be going out and winning, and then them 3 points should have come home in the next game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love to see that consistency take place, and I think once that slots in and they're getting the run of play and the wins, then I think we're on to a big, big winner. And we're close to it, very close to it. There's just a little bit to work on.
Yep, certainly is. Causy, what are you thinking this Sunday lineup? Are we keeping it the same? Are we making some changes? How are you looking at it?
I think there'll be some changes from last week's starting lineup. I think Amber comes in without a shadow of a doubt.
Good.
It pains us to say, but the fact that she brought Liv off at half time, I don't know if she's going to keep her place. We all know my feelings on Liv. I think she's a fantastic defender. I think she should be starting every game, but I'm not sure if that substitution is maybe a sign of what's to come this Sunday. Other than that, could you argue Izzy Sibley gets a start?
Which position?
Personally, I'd put her on the wing, and I would put Andrews on the bench. I'd go with front 3 of Sibley, Hales, and Lumsden. I'd bring Amber back in.
Oh, I wish we could bring Anna back in.
Oh, no, didn't even mean that, mate. I'd bring Amber back in alongside Alysia and Jazz in that midfield. Defence, I think, is open to question, like I say, with the Liv situation.
I think fair enough to say when you mentioned there about Sibley coming in, Andrews being benched. I think it's a fair question to ask to everyone and I want to hear people in the comments what do you think about this. But Aaron, for you, do you think with the stats looking the way they are, do you think it's time that someone else gets a start ahead of Andrews?
Yeah, I really do. And I mean, we've brought her in, and I've watched now quite a few games with her in, and I've been on the fence for a while, but I just don't think, especially from last week's performance and performances before, like I'm just not seeing enough from her. And for that reason, yeah, I would, yeah, she would. I mean, she'd be great as an impact player. Bring her on, half an hour to go, 20 minutes to go. If we need more, forward playing, but yeah, based on the performances, 100%, she would be on the bench for me. And yeah, you're right. I'll be bringing the likes of Sibley in.
Yeah, I think I would agree on this one, and it's one where I want Andrews to do amazing. She has big ambitions. She wants to hit the golden boot, but it's time to start finishing them chances, getting them over the line, and making the impact player that we feel like she can be. I certainly feel like she can be a very, very big impactful player. I'm just seeing, I've just got Causy's third guest through there. So look. Southampton. I'm going to do one of those ones that not a lot of people like, but I personally am a big fan of them. Causy, score prediction.
Score prediction 4-0 to Newcastle.
Oh, go on, son. 4-0. 4-0. Aran, score prediction.
I'm going to go one bigger, and it's because it's St. James's. I'm going to go with a 5-0. And I'm gonna say hail.
5-0. That's powerful.
And that's a big scoreline for this league.
I'm for once I'm gonna be the quiet, boring one, and I'm gonna say 2-1.
Oh, how way, Joe, man. Love it.
Well done. I just think we're gonna play a bit more reserved, maybe try a little few more things out, protect the back line a bit more. I just don't think it's going to be that. I know we're going to come out and we're going to dominate, but I think it's going to be more possession domination, passing domination. We'll be having a lot of fun in the stands because we'll be doing the whole but no, I think 2-1, 4-0, and 5-0. We're going to have to hold you to them, and we'll recoup about that on Sunday. That'll be an interesting one. I hope he's all right. I hope to be wrong. I really do, because, oh, God, I'll be bouncing if it's 4 or 5-0. Absolutely bouncing. Look, guys, absolutely fantastic stuff having you on. Before we obviously wrap up for the night and before we go into anything else, we are going to reveal the answer for Who Am I? But before we do that, Aran, have you got a guess?
Yes, I have. I'm pretty sure Grace was at uni, at Northumbria Uni. And from the clues, yeah, I'm going with Grace Donnelly.
Grace Donnelly. Causy?
I went back and forth on this one, as you know.
Yep.
I've been sending some guesses to you after each clue. I know a few of them did go to uni at Northumbria, played for the uni team as well. Grace is a name that I put down, same as Aran. Georgia, KB, Casey Elson. But it was December 2017 that kind of struck us, because that doesn't really tie in with when any of the lasses joined. So based on that and the supporting role, and our name's been brought up once tonight already, I'm going to go Sue Cumming.
Oh, that's the one at the end there with a shout where I was like, ooh, that's a really good one. Now, obviously, I don't know either. I did have down a fair few, a lot of the names that you've also mentioned. I ruled them out and went to Georgia. And when that supporting role came in, I changed it to Grace Donnelly as well. So I'm going to actually stick with Grace Donnelly. Me and Aran see Grace Donnelly. Causy has said Sue Cummins. Let's see if finally Causy's wrong. I hope so. Come on.
Oh my God.
No way, Causy. How are you doing? Oh my goodness. How well done. I'm absolutely baffled at how you keep getting these. Like, for real, to be honest, when the first clue came up and then the second clue came up, I was very worried that the prediction I asked for you earlier before the show came on was actually going to come right, and I would have kicked myself if that was, because you'd said Georgia Gibson earlier on. And I was like, no. But
Do you know what it is? Sue used to coach me. She's coached us for about 7 years from 10-year-old, right? Started one of the first women's teams in the North East, and I had no clue. She was at Northumbria Uni. No clue.
Yeah, I based my guess off the second and third clue, not that. I just took a bang at that maybe she was there, I don't know, at some point. But it was December 2017, so I had
That's
great
true. That's true. Is completely cozy,
Yeah,
that one. Because
Grace, I'm sure Grace did join in 2017, but I'm sure she joined in the summer. December was an odd month. The likes of KB and Georgia didn't join till about 2019, 2020, if I remember rightly, as well. I know Casey Elson joined in 2020 also. So it's just, yeah.
it was a supporting role. I was like, that's
I was
then. And I was like,
I was thinking with Grace this season, having not really played any minutes, and
yeah.
And I thought, is it Becky? And I was like, no, because Becky went to Loughborough. And I was like, and that was before Becky. So, yeah. But no, I would have thought it was Sue.
That is unbelievable. And it's the fact that Aaron, all the time you've had with her as well, and Causy.
I know.
Like, do you know what I mean? And he
just said, what sports does she play and what does she do? I could tell you all of that about her life, but something like that, nah. I had no clue whatsoever.
Honestly, yeah, Causy, I doff my cap to you. I think at this point you've earned it. I think I'm going to have to go out and get a little trophy for you or something. I've actually just broke one of Emmy's old WWE title belts, so I might just bring that to you, like hardcore title style, you know what I mean? But look, guys, this has been fantastic. We've got your predictions. Causy, I mean, it's one of those. Where can everyone catch you? What are you usually up to for the Newcastle United Women?
Yeah, so on Twitter at Causy TM, on Facebook in the Newcastle United Women's supporters group on there. So if you're not in there already, I think we've got over 12,000 fans in that group now. So if you're not in it, get yourself joined. There's loads of chat, discussion, helpful information, coach travel to away games, train travel when relevant to away games, and just some really good banter amongst our fantastic fan base.
Yes, without doubt. Aaron, former Lioness, Toon Review. Where can everyone catch you?
Of course, you can catch us on the Toon Review. And also, I'm still doing all my coaching, one-to-ones, and yeah, drop-in sessions with clubs. So just, you can see it on my website, socials. Just pop in my name and I'm there.
You're damn straight. It is very, very, very easy to find Aaron somewhere near you to do with football, without doubt. So that said as well, we've got the down below in the comments, you can see Lee has also posted 90% of people believe Newcastle United will break the championship record. Obviously, drop us a like, and thank you all for watching. It's been absolutely excellent having you. Hopefully, we're going to see us on Sunday. There is still tickets if you're sitting watching and you can get there. Get yourself to St. James's Park this Sunday, because it's going to be a phenomenal display against Southampton, especially if one of these two crazy people are right. 4-0. No, wait, 4-0. There we go. 4-0. 5-0. There we go. That would have been easier just getting used to do that. Look, thank you, Causy. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It's been phenomenal.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you on Sunday. How are the lasses?
Lasses.
How are the lasses?